there, metalheads, and welcome to another episode of Metal Verbalizers podcast. My name is Erik, and in this episode, we are going for that southern rock vibe with some good modern and grungy, groovy hard rock. Today, we are verbalizing the band Icarus Fell. Icarus Fell started sometime late in 2019 in Detroit, as I understand it, and released their debut single in 2020. If I don't recall wrong, this is the first band that I'm verbalizing that have their origin from the US. This is a little bit interesting since we often see the US as a very big music exporter, which they absolutely are. They are one of the world's biggest music exporters. The sound is very much a mix of genres that we usually don't see here on the podcast. I guess that the foundation in the sound is southern rock. Then it is mixed with some grunge rock and some flavors from country, actually. In their own words, they describe the sound like sporting a southern feel with a hard rock soul. To give a few examples of bands that have some similarities in the sound are Alice in Chains, Blackstone Cherry, and Jason Isbell. So if you are a fan of any of these bands, you're for sure gonna find something that you like with Icarus Fell as well. Their image seems to be very much like keeping rock alive. Like they have said themselves, we're not here to change the face of music, we're here to preserve it. I like that because sometimes you don't have to try fixing what ain't broken. Like many have said before me, if it ain't broken, don't fix it. How I think about it between hard rock and metal is that it is absolutely great to let completely loose to some gut-punching double kicks and some fast guitar shredding. But sometimes you just want some good old hard rock. That is when you put on bands like AC/DC, Dropkick Murphys, and for sure Icarus Fell. I think it is time to have a look at the band's music. That is maybe the most exciting and most important part. Like I mentioned earlier, they debuted in 2020 with a single called The Hollow. This is actually a very melodic song. The vocals are very like country inspired. While the guitars are really grungy and nice. With this mix in this sound, this song is the beginning of something really great in my opinion. If we were to talk about the cover for this single, we have their logo with the name of the song almost bang on in the middle with a dirt road going through a forest. This song is not going to stand by itself for long because the same year they released an EP named after the band with 5 tracks of total awesomeness with the single featured, obviously. This time for a cover, they have their logo surrounded by some beautiful angel wings with a straight black background. Here we can wonder if there is a deeper meaning hidden in this picture. Maybe that's something that we are gonna have answered in a future interview or something. In 2021, the band had another single to release called Another Storm. As expected, it is groovy as ever with telephone effects and big choruses. I don't know, these telephone style effects on the vocals feel pretty common in more country and that sort of genres rather than in rock usually, but it's a cool thing here. This time the cover is very abstract, so here I don't really know how to describe it other than that the color scheme is different tones of blue. You're gonna see what I mean when you see the cover. Like if the music would never stop coming from this band, we have in 2022 gotten the band's first ever full-length album called Chase the Sun. Here we start off with a track called The Righteous Ones, which is to some extent a little bit bluesy actually, but still very grungy. Together with this track, you got songs like Broken Brother, Gather Round, and more. In its entirety, the album has 9 tracks that are absolutely great. This album cover is very beautiful as well, because this time it is like an oil painting of what I believe is a woman with large wings. Gather Round from this album was one of the tracks that made me choose this band for an episode. When I choose a band to make an episode about, I always begin with listening to the music, because I always want the music to make me feel in some way. And that is exactly what this song did to me. It got me moving and grooving and tapping my foot pretty much straight away. As of right now, we haven't gotten any music in 2023, and I haven't found anything as of yet that teases us for more music. But like we say over here, when you wait for something good, you can never wait too long. But I personally usually say that you always wait too long. But when it comes to music, I always say that you should never really push it, because music has to take the time it needs to be finished, because that is when it is at its best. And then we also have to think about that this year has only started, so we never know what's gonna happen. Since we've gone through their current releases, it is time for my concept that I like to call Erik's Top 5. This is so that you get a good idea of where to start when you listen to Icarus Fell. But, of course, I encourage you to really listen to their whole discography. But anyways, let's go. Number 1, Gather Round from Chase the Sun. Number 2, Broken Brother from Chase the Sun. Number 3, The Righteous Ones from Chase the Sun. And number 4, Until Night from Icarus Fell. And number 5, The Hollow, their debut. These are some of my favorites. What we want now is that when you listen to their music and this episode, we want to hear about your favorites. Join us on our socials and tell us about them over there. Do you agree with my list, or do you think that other songs should have gone on the list instead? If we were to talk about the future of the band, we can see that as of right now, they have released a bunch of dates for shows on their webpage, which is very exciting, so that they can get out on the road and share the music live to us. When it comes to the general future for the band, it is also looking great, because they have taken some great rock genres and put them into one single groovy and solid sound. This is a sound that is going to please a lot of people, actually, both within the genre and outside of it. Because I think that it is a modernized take on the genres mentioned, and I think that it is executed very well from the band. To get this big sound without a lot of background instruments. It feels like it is a lot of what you see is what you get. And I think also that this band that would be awesome on a lot of summer festivals. I can already picture in my head how it would look in different kinds of summer festivals. And I hope that this band sounds really interesting to you. If you like that grunge type of a vibe with southern rock, I think that you are really going to like this band. But either way, like I said, this band has got a sound that I think is going to please a lot of people. So I don't think that you're going to regret giving them a listen. And while you're at it, don't forget to follow their social media as well to see what the band is up to. And I will for sure personally follow the band to see what comes next. And also I will continue to listen to their music. I've added a few of their songs to my everyday playlist that I listen to pretty much every day. And if you like what we are doing here on Metal Verbalizers podcast, bringing you the latest awesome rock and metal to listen to, don't forget to give our pages a follow as well, to stay updated on what band we are going to verbalize next. Also, sometimes we release extra episodes where we interview the bands or let them come on and tell stories about their experiences from the road. This is something that you do not want to miss out on. But anyways, until next time, thanks for listening. I've been Erik, and you've been listening to Metal Verbalizers podcast, Verbalizing the band Icarus Fell.